I got rhythm, I got music, I got my girl, could ask for anything more. Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the jazz standard, George Gershwin's I Got Rhythm. This is a great tune to learn, especially if you're coming from the pop world, playing a lot of chords like this, and you want to get into that jazz, cool chord sound. This is a perfect song to do it. We're going to start off with a G. We're going to do it in the key of G. And so if we take our basic G chord, and now we bring this around to what they call one of the major seventh grips that the old jazz players will call it. So we're going to go and take that G bass, and then we're going to play basically an A minor 7 or an A minor underneath it, okay? But moving it up here, and that gives us all the notes we need for the G major 7. Now with the thumb, we're going to play the bass on the 6, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, but instead of the usual finger picking down here on the bottom, we're going to just shift up 1, so we're going to be playing 4, 3, and 2. Okay? And we're going to be clutching it like that. So that's going to give us the basic jazz feel that we want. Okay, so there's your G major 7. It's a very good chord, very nice chord to get under your fingers, and fairly easy to play. And again, once you get that G major 7, you can move it up, right? You've got A major 7, B, C, D, E. Good way to learn the neck by playing off the bass notes, right? But this chord will work in all positions, okay? As long as you're playing those fingers. So we've got the G. Now the next note we're going to go, I've got rhythm. We're going to go to the diminished 7. Famous George Gershwin technique of chromatic harmonies. So we've got the G major 7. We're going to go up to the, with the second finger, we're going to put it on the G sharp bass. And the third finger is going to drop down 1. The first finger is going to play that bar across. Okay, and that's going to give us the diminished 7. Now this is a nice progression to get under your fingers because it can be used many times. It's a standard jazz progression, right? So we've got the sharp 1 diminished. Now we're going to go up to the 2 or the minor 2nd, okay? So A minor 7, and you can play that with 1, or if you're doing like this and you're coming up like this, since your fingers are sort of in position, you can just slide that second finger up and drop down the third finger, and you can get that A minor 7 feel like that. So you're seeing that the fingers, of course that third finger has to come up one string, but it's an easy movement there. Or if you want, you can do this, okay? Either way works, and it's good to know how to do it both ways, okay? But now we're going to drop down to the D major, a D9. So we're going from the A minor 7 to the D9. So if you did do it with the 2 and the 3, it'd be an easy move to come down and get that first finger down there on the third, right? So we've got 1 sharp diminished 7, 1, right? Sharp 1 diminished 7, 2 minor 7, 5, 9, and then back to the 1. I've got rhythm, okay? I've got rhythm. Now, the next piece of that, we're going to come down. So we could do the same thing again. I've got rhythm, I've got music. We could do that. But we're going to instead do a little bit of a contrapuntal move here. So when we do the second 4, I've got music, we're going to come down. Instead of doing the same thing again, we're going to come down from the 3 chord, okay? So we're going to play the B minor 7, and then the E9, okay? And remember that we are changing the bass note when we do that. So we're going to go to 2, okay? We'll play that, the B, then we play the E, and then the A minor, and then the D. So we're going to go bum, 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 bum. The bass will change, right? So we're going to go, I've got music. But what I'm going to do now is show you the tritone substitution. So instead of da, 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 which works fine, right? We're going to go, and then instead of the E9, we're going to go to the B flat, right? E to B flat, going in either direction, gets you the tritone, right? So it's E9, B flat 7, okay? So really with the B flat 7, we're just playing that same thing we were doing there, but we're adding in the third on that third string. Okay, so we've got, it gives you a little chromatic drop, right? Now in that case, we're going to just keep it on the 6 for the whole time, right? So here's the difference. I've got music. Sounds perfectly fine, right? In fact, you can do it that way and then you can switch it. But the tritone substitution is a chromatic movement. I've got rhythm. So, I've got music. I've got music. Either way works, as you see. So now we've got the first 8, right? We've got 1 diminished sharp 1, right? A minor 7, 2, 5, and then 3 minor 7, flat 3, 7, 2 minor 7, flat 2, 7, back to the 1, right? And that takes us through the first 8. Now the second 8 will be the same, right? So that brings us to the bridge, we call it, or the third line of the third 8. So remember, we're in the key of G, and now when we go to the third line, we're going to go up to the 3 chord, except we are now changing that to a 7th, so we're playing a B7. Okay, and the B7 is going to be up here on the 7th fret, and we're going to just put that second finger down. Now this should be familiar because we were playing the B flat and the A flat, right? But now we're playing the B, okay? And this is a classic move for the old 32 bar standards. When you go to the line 3, many times you will find that you're going to go from that 1 chord to the 3-7 chord, which kind of takes you into another key, and then you progress through the circle fourths. Who could ask for anything more? Old man trouble. And now we're just going to an E9, right? From the B7 to an E9. You don't mind him. And if you want, you can do a little, boom chick bass. I don't mind him. And now we're going to go to the A7. We won't find him outside my door. So what did we do there? We went for the 3 on the 7th. We went to the E. We went to the A7. And we went to the D. And now we're back to the G. So that is classic circle of fourths, my friends. And that's how the line 3 goes. And then we're back to the original. Da, 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 da. Here's the difference on the 4th line, right? D, again, it's tritone substitution. Going from that D9, the E flat 9, okay? Instead of an A, we're going to an E flat 9, which gives us another chromatic move and gives us a nice little sound there, back to the G. So, I got rhythm, I got music, I'm like you, who could ask for anything more? And that's the song. Now, when we're looking at soloing here, we've got a couple of different locations we can solo. And one of the things I like to do is I like to take that house form, okay, which I call it the house form because here's the top of the roof, here's the 2 sides of the house, okay, and so that comes right off the G, okay, the whole scale. The whole scale is basically the major blues scale in G, right? You'll hear that My Girl, right? Down, da, 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 is My Girl, right? If you follow that all the way, when you get to the last three strings, you'll see that house appear. Okay, and that's what I'm going to use for my opening solo. So I've got basically a position here on the house. With a little swing out here, okay? And that's going to give me my opening soloing, okay? Okay, that's my first 8, and I'm really only playing on that house form, okay? Which again is the major blues for G, okay? When we get to the second 8, we're going to come up here to the B, okay? So that all comes off the house, okay? Again, the foundation being in the house. Now when we go to the next 8, or the third line 8, if you will, the B section so-called, okay? We're going to come up to the 7th fret. So we're going to walk up to the 7th fret, we're going to be playing off the B chord, or the B7 chord. You remember that we're playing a B7 chord. Okay, so, and we're going to be playing all of our solo line in here on the 7th through 10th fret. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Da, 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 da. So, and that brings us back to the G, okay? So, those are 2 forms you can use and the house form. So those are 2 forms you can use to help you solo, without getting into any excessive scales and different things like this, which, you know, if you're playing a solo, you want to know what the chord is that you're playing off, and you want to get the feel of that, and then you're hearing all kinds of things in your head, and that's how you do solo. Memorization of scales is great for technique, to get your fingers moving, but when you're playing, in fact, I remember George Benson saying, all he ever thinks about is major or minor, and the rest flows. So these are 2 good foundations to get you a solo. And of course, there's lots more to be said about soloing. But for this piece, to get you through with a decent solo, you can work off of this house, G major blues form here. Then when you get to the 3rd set of 8, you can come up here to the B, and with just using those 2 foundational points, the house and the F chord up here on the B, you can get through a pretty decent solo, put that piece together, and I think you'll be pretty happy with it. So going through the solo, let's take a look here. So remembering and that takes you through the 8, right? Then you could repeat that for the second 8, and then when you get to the 3rd, you go ba 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 ba, and now we're back to the original 8. Ba 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 ba. Again with the house. And then you can go into the 3rd to sing again. Back to the G. Okay, so there's your song. So when you put the whole thing together, you should come up with something that sounds kind of like this. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my girl who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my girl who could ask for anything more. Poor man trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him outside my door. I got music, I got rhythm, I got my girl who could ask for anything more. I got rhythm, oh no, I got music, don't hide my door. I got rhythm, I got music, I got my girl who can ask for anything more, ask for anything more. So my friends, I hope that helps you out. Little introduction into the jazz world, some basic soloing, and some great little chord forms that can really get you sounding pretty impressive pretty fast. So I hope you enjoyed that. Of course, any comments, suggestions, let me know, and I will see you again next time. And don't forget to subscribe, my friends. Thank you very much.